Jacob's eyes suddenly lit up and threatened. If you don't let me go to the class reunion, then don't play mahjong yourself. We will observe each other at home, staring at each other. As soon as Elaine heard that Jacob would not let her play mahjong, she was anxious, and blurted out, "You old master, wouldn't letting me play mahjong delay my earning? Sheelan will go to the United States soon. I have to take advantage of it. She hasn't left yet, so I can play a few more games with her. I only need to play one game with her, let alone earn 3 or 5,000. After finishing speaking, she looked at Charlie and blurted out, "Charlie, you will go with your dad in the afternoon. If there is a girl at the class reunion, call me immediately, and I will rush over and show him his old face." Jacob was frightened by Elaine's fierce words, and then he said stiffly, "I am not afraid of the shadow leaning." Elaine glared at him and said, "I'm too lazy to talk nonsense with you. All right, I'm going out to play mahjong." After speaking, Elaine got up, stretched out her hand and said to Jacob, "Come on, give me your car key." Jacob said, "You play mahjong and drive there? I still need the car in the afternoon." Elaine gave him a white look and said contemptuously, "Why? Want to drive to your classmates to show off? I tell you, there are no doors. Hurry up, give me the car keys." Jacob was helpless, so he had to take out the car key and hand it to her, and said, "You drive carefully, don't smash it." Elaine said fiercely, "You care about the old woman? Anxious, the old woman will drive you into the river. Let you burn the bag." Jacob wanted to die depressed, but Elaine felt a sigh of relief, put on his coat happily, and walked out the door vigorously. After Elaine left, Jacob sighed helplessly, and said to Charlie, "Charlie, you followed me this afternoon, and it happened that some old classmates also brought young people to help." "Okay, Dad." Charlie was helpless, but he could only nod his head and agree. Claire handed her car key to Jacob and said, "Dad, maybe you drive my car in the afternoon and I will take a taxi to the company." "Forget it." Jacob waved his hand and said, "I am embarrassed to drive." Claire was helpless, so she took the key back and said to Charlie, "Then you can take a taxi." Charlie said, "This old man is too vain. He dislikes Claire's 5 Series and calls it a beggar version. Does he know that car is actually the best BMW 760? At this moment, Elaine had just walked downstairs and was about to drive away when he suddenly heard a familiar voice. "Oh, brother and sister, wait a minute." Elaine looked up and found out that the person here was actually No's wife and sister-in-law, Horaya. She was a little surprised at once. In Sheelan's villa, she severely despised her and her husband. She was really addicted. She did not expect that she would find her own home. So she asked, "Horaya, why are you here?" When she thought of squeezing Noah and Horaya before, Elaine's mind showed the expressions of resentment of the couple at the time, and her heart was even more unspeakable. Unlike before, Elaine had always worried that after the Wilson family went bankrupt, her pension would not be settled, but now, the person who most hopes to see the Wilson family go bankrupt is her. Because she has found a greater source of pleasure, which is to mock Noah and Horaya. If the Wilson family is completely bankrupt, then she can laugh at them both unscrupulously every day. These two guys have been sarcastic about her for so many years, and in the future, they will even get back that with the profit. Therefore, seeing Horaya appearing in front of her at this time, Elaine was a little faintly happy. She was thinking that she hadn't had enough addiction last time, but she didn't expect it? They brought themselves to her door. When Elaine asked, Horaya said apologetically, "Oh, brother and sister, I came to see you today, but I actually want to say sorry to you." Then, she said with a look of shame, "When I was in the Wilson family, I used to look down on people. Not only did I always give you a look, but also often said bad things about you in front of the Lady Wilson. What I did is wrong. I have deeply reflected on my mistakes, so I came to you and wanted to apologize solemnly to you." After speaking, her face was hot, gritted her teeth, and then bowed deeply to Elaine. Elaine was a little surprised at once. She thought this girl was here to provoke, but she unexpectedly bowed and apologized. Her 30-meter-long sword was already ready to slash her severely. When she heard this, she suddenly didn't know what to do. At this time, when Horaya saw Elaine not speaking, she acted very well. She knelt on the ground while crying, and pleaded bitterly, "My dear brother and sister, do you blame the sister-in-law? The sister-in-law is really wrong. Now, in recent years, my sister-in-law hasn't figured out a truth. We are both wives and outsiders in Wilson's family. We should be friends and sisters in the team and get along well together." After that, Horiah slapped her face and cried, "My dear sister, your sister-in-law used to be really ignorant. Please don't be familiar with sister-in-law. We will still be like sisters in the future. Can't we?" Elaine was so excited. "Okay." The aloof Horiah actually knelt down on her own, and desperately slapped herself. This looked really enough to relieve her hatred. After all these years, when did Horiah lower her head to her? And now, she finally feels the kind of refreshing feeling of stepping on the souls of others. Horiah looked at the complacency on her face, her heart burst into anger, but she sighed and said, "Sister, tell you something to your heart, I think I understand. You said that I have committed all kinds of sins for so many years. Regarding what you were for, isn't it all in the end? Now I regret it in my heart. If I have been impolite to you over the years, how can we make troubles between us to the point where we are today?